In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at doing a tasting review of ArteNOM Seleccion 1414 Reposado. Right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello, welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of ArteNOM Seleccion 1414. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and please, if you want to learn more about agave spirits, as well as see some reviews of some of the brands you may see on the shelf out there, make sure you click the subscribe button below and click the bell next to it so you can be notified anytime I post any of my new information videos for you, so you can get some great information as well as see some great reviews of some of the products you're running into out in the stores on the shelves. All right, so let's get into a little bit about the brand ArteNOM Seleccion. All right, so let's get into the interesting information part of the video. If you've ever wondered what the heck ArteNOM Seleccion is, it is actually a brand, and it was started by a gentleman named Justin, and it's either Lustig or Lustig, and he has a company called Las Joyas de Agave. Now, Las Joyas de Agave, under the company, also has a couple of brands that they represent. A couple of them are mezcals, and those are Mina Real, as well as Don Amato, are a couple of agave brands that they also do under there. Justin is also the national sales director for Haas Brothers, and Haas Brothers is the company that imports this tequila, the ArteNOM Seleccions, as well as a couple of other brands that they represent and bring into the United States. So what they basically wanted to do when they created this brand is they wanted to highlight the artistry of these master distillers in different areas of the tequila producing region to kind of show off what the agave from these different areas can taste like, as well as what kind of tequila these guys are producing. So 1414 isn't the only one that ArteNOM Seleccion also represents. They also have Cascoin, which is 1123, El Pendio, which is 1579, and they also do 1146, which is La Tequileña, and they previously had 1079, which switched to 1580, but those bottles, if you find them, are treasure bottles. They're hard to find, but the Blanco that they did is phenomenal. It's a really good Blanco. So you'll find these other ArteNOM Seleccions, and if you know, you can pick them up because they will be good. They will be created by some really great master distillers and really present the agave in a way in which these agave should be presented to you. So there should be really good tequilas. All right, so there's some information about ArteNOM Seleccion. Let's get into a little bit about how this 1414 Seleccion is made. Okay, ArteNOM 1414 Reposado. Now, if you didn't know this, the NOM number or NOM number represents a holding company that actually owns the license for distilling, and it's typically assigned to a distillery. So in this case, the NOM number is 1414, so it's ArteNOM 1414 Reposado. The name of the distillery is Feliciano Vivanco and Asociados. It is located in the highlands of Jalisco in Arandas. The master distiller is Sergio Cruz. They use Weber Blue agave from the highlands. They cook the agave using a horno or brick oven, and it's cooked for 28 hours to turn all those starches into beautiful sugars in the agave. After they're done cooling, they then extract the sugars from the agave fibers using a roller mill, and they shoot for a 10 degrees Brix rating on the mosto. Now, if you don't know what 10 degrees Brix is, it's actually a measurement of the sugar level in the mosto. And they use a device called the refractometer to check the Brix levels, to check the sugar level, and that will determine how much alcohol they'll get during fermentation, as well as how much they'll draw out during distillation. So after it is done fermenting, or after it's done being extracted, is then fermented in stainless steel tanks using champagne yeast. And after it is done fermenting, it is then twice distilled in copper pot stills, and it's distilled to 43% alcohol by volume, where it is then placed in used bourbon American oak barrels and aged for 6 and 9 months in different barrels, and then they blend the barrels together to create the flavor profile of ArteNOM Seleccion 1414. These are American oak used bourbon barrels that they do aging in. The lowest price to be able to find this for is $46.99. All right, so enough about how this tequila is made. Got some additional information for you, so let's go back up and let me give you that. All right, I've got some really exciting information for you that Sergio gave me when I was getting some information about this particular product that they produce. And he told me right now it is currently bottled at 40% alcohol by volume. They're coming out with a new version of this, and it's being bottled right now. So we predicted it should hit the US by January, sometime maybe mid to late January. We'll see it on the shelves. But they're coming out, instead of being 40% alcohol by volume, it'll be 41.5% alcohol by volume. So it'll be a higher alcohol, a higher ABV. And then they're also aging it in new American oak barrels versus used American oak barrels. So it should have a different and interesting flavor profile to it. And what we'd really need to do is to compare one of the older bottles, one of this, like this bottle, the 40%, to the new one that comes out in January. So if you haven't already picked one up, you may want to run to the store and grab one of the older ones and then wait for the new ones to come out and do a side-by-side comparison, and that'll be something neat to see or to compare against. All right, so let's not waste any more time though. Let's get into the tasting portion on this particular one next. All right, going up top to the pour cam, I am using, of course, my Denver and Liley agave glass. Love these glasses. I'll put a link in the description if you want to look into getting one for yourself. They're back in stock. I've switched to these glasses now, and you really do get a good nose and flavor profile from the agave using these glasses. It really gets the spirit to open up. They did research for 2 years in creating these glasses to come up with the perfect agave glass, and I think they hit the nail on the head on this. All right, so let's go ahead and pour our ArteNOM Seleccion 1414 into the glass. All right, there we go. Let's go up top now, take a look at it in the glass. All right, taking a look at this in the glass. Coats the glass nicely. You can see the legs and tiers forming at the top. So it should have a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Looking at the tequila, it is crystal clear with a very faint yellowish tint to it. Kind of light, very light straw-like yellow. Looks great. All right, so let's see what we get on the nose on this. Definitely picking up some really nice of the baking spices and cinnamon from the cooked agave coming through. I'm getting a hint of vanilla is in there. Got a little pepperiness to it. A slight hint of citrus in there, as well as some slight caramel coming through as well. Flavor, this nose on this is actually really nice. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Nice viscous mouthfeel. Beautiful baking spices and cinnamon coming through from the cooked agave. Picking up a nice fruitiness. A little bit of pepper in there as well. On the finish, I'm picking up some vanilla, followed by a hint of light caramel coming through. Very light heat on it, not much at all. Very easy to sip and drink. This is a nicely done, well done Reposado. I like this one a lot. I'm going to take another sip. This is so light and so nice. It's very well balanced. It really doesn't, override the agave at all. You get a little bit of the barrel in there, which is perfect, which is exactly what you want to see in a Reposado. You don't want it to be overly oaked. This definitely isn't. I like it a lot. This is really good for it in the afternoon. If you want just a light sipper, this is a great one for that. It's not overly bold on the palate, just a nice representation of the agave. If you're a Blanco drinker and you just want to see what a little bit of barrel influence would have, this is really good for that as well. I'm going to give this one 4 agave. It's a really nice Reposado. I really enjoy it. Have you tried ArteNOM 1414? If so, what did you think about it? Comment below, let me know. How did our tastings pair up? I'd love to find out about that too. Are you excited about the new 1414 that's ArteNOM 1414 that's coming out in January? What do you think's going to happen with the flavor profile below? Is it something that you're interested in picking up as well and checking out? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below. Don't forget to give me a like for all the great information I shared in this video with you. And don't forget to subscribe, because we don't want you to miss any upcoming reviews as well as informational videos. I've got some great stuff coming up for you guys. Wouldn't want you to miss it. So make sure you click the subscribe button, make sure you like, and make sure you comment. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So ArteNOM 1414 should be on the good list. Salud.